everybody, it's me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and everybody that's on my Skype. I pre-warned today that we were going to be doing a live talking about, well, in particular, not just aliens, but the Billy Meier story. And we talked about this on a live that I did not too long ago, and I really enjoyed it. Also, for those of you that are here, if this light is too bright, let me know. I'm going to be sitting over here, but if it starts to become like annoying, let me know. So we're going to talk about Billy Meier's story. I wanted to show you all this. Hi, Purple Sky. Okay, these are my evil eye beads. So when I feel that I need to, I'm going to show them before videos. And so yeah, we're going to talk about Billy Meier and the message from the Pleiades, or the Pleiades, depending on how you say it. Hi, Layla Day. How are you? I would like for everybody to type out their city, just so I remember where everybody I'm talking to is from. That would be great. And in better lighting, you can probably see better. But I have some really cool Kat Von D shadow on, both the inside of my eyes and then on my lips. And this was a limited edition Alchemist holographic palette that she did. And I really like it. But me and the lady at the store decided that it looks very alien-like. And also the pink looks really good on just as lips, you know. But you've got a beautiful sapphire. You've got a green emerald, an ultraviolet amethyst, a blue sapphire, and an pink opal. Yeah, so all of those colors are really cool. Anyway, have any of you heard about Billy Meier before we ever talked about him? Or in general, the type of aliens called Pleiadians? If you have, that's really cool. If you haven't, that's not uncommon. But the message I want to talk about from Billy Meier and all that this message is really cool. I have a little bit of a stomach ache, so if I cut this live short, we can do it in another video. Hi, B. Young. How are you? Otis, you want to say hi to everybody before you leave? Come here, bud. Yeah. Everyone say hi to Otis B. Driftwood. Say hi, my love. Aww. Alright. Bye-bye. Yeah, so this is how you spell that. And the pronunciation, everybody that I've seen on videos and stuff pronounces it different. So I've heard it Pleiades and Pleiades, but I tend to say it Pleiades. It's so hot in my house right now. Is that light too bright? Should I turn it off? I have some interesting setup going on today. I feel like I should bring you guys closer. Let's just see if we should do a different setup or not. Sorry. What if I got you in the fan? That would be not good. That would be so funny. Okay. I just feel like we're so low. We could sit on the ground. I need a bigger tripod. Oop. I don't know, I think we were better off before. So that alien lamp that's back there is really cool. It is one that like we saw in the show The Big Bang Theory, if you guys watch The Big Bang Theory. And just ever since Alex and I met, and we've been just so tight on like the whole we love aliens and all that, We love, Nirvana. We're into just weird occult stuff, cryptozoology, Bigfoot, all of those things. So, let's see. I have a little bit of a stomachache, so I don't really want to do reading tonight, but I would be more than willing to do talking, with questions, and I could give you like a little bit of answers. However, I do want to do a series and kind of read through these books about, the story of Billy Meier, because actually a lot of people see what he did as a cult, Basically, Billy Meier was a young boy in Sweden, I believe. I know that he is German, but I believe he was from Sweden, and I think that's what it is. And when he was 5 years old, he got in an accident where, with a train, I believe, where his arm was ripped off. So all the filming and all the photography that you've seen of these type of ships are most likely from Billy Meier, which he took on an old school camera, tripod, all that, with one arm. It's pretty amazing. Layla, that's really cool. You look them up and believe in aliens, UFOs, cryptids since you were in first grade. See, and that's another thing, you guys. If you've just always felt like drawn to this stuff for some reason, or you've just always believed it, and maybe you didn't even want to admit it to anybody, but you just know that you always have, it's cool that you have a place here now that you can talk about that stuff. And me too, because not everybody wants to hear that all the time, like how crazy you are, or like how out there you are, and I'm able to come home from like a hectic day at work and then see you guys and be like, here's how wild I am, and I know you guys are too, and what are we into, and let's talk about new things. We talk about witchcraft every day, but we don't always talk about our other parts of life that we believe in and that we're into. I would like to hear from you guys. I'm kind of making a Christmas list from my family, like my in-laws, I guess, and my parents and my, family of things that I want. And I've got some cool books picked out at Costco that I Skyped a couple of my friends about. There's like a book on Pink Floyd that's a description of every song and like how it was written and where it came from and pictures. And I actually want 2 copies of that book. One that I can cut up and do like my collaging and decoupage with. And then one that, one that I could cut this stuff up, like, and maybe put some Pink Floyd coming out of these space mountains or something. Throw that in there as another layer to those kinds of things. And then another book that they had at Costco was Washington State, which is the state of the United States that I live in. It was a map of the whole state and where you can forage rocks and minerals and different types of, geodes and things like that. And maps of how you can do it and rivers you can look in and, even like panning for gold and stuff. I mean, to me, that stuff is like amazing. And I think that book was like $15. It wasn't really much. I used to do that stuff with my parents as a kid. We used to drive around the United States and go and visit caves and caverns. And so, yeah, I mean, and then there are things called monoliths. Monoliths are all around the entire world. They're things that can't be explained. In Costa Rica, there's these stone balls that just sit in the middle of the jungle. Stonehenge is a monolith, obviously. The pyramids are a type of monolith in a way, but think smaller, and not a lot of people know about it. Georgia Guidestones here in the United States is a monolith. So anyway, these stones in Costa Rica, they've been there for thousands and thousands of years, and no science can explain how a rock could be that old in that very place and be cut that perfectly, because even with the diamond computer cutting we have today, we can't get it that perfect. How do you explain these things, when all they had was fire, like thousands of years ago, but they had somehow technology to build pyramids and cut perfectly round rocks and all of this stuff. So to me, that's really cool and special. I want to look at comments and see where we're at. Hello, everybody. Hi, Silver Moon. Oh, I try. Thank you. I was trying to look nice. You have a coral castle there in Florida, B. That's really cool. Like a coral castle in the water? Like a natural coral castle in the water? I'll have to look that up. Your mom told you this during a conversation. Yeah, it's mathematically impossible for us. That's called the Drake equation. My husband has it tattooed on his hand. There's a small documentary, like under an hour on Netflix, on the Drake equation. If you're questioning aliens at all, and if you just if you're like, I'm 30, I gotta decide, I gotta figure this out, like, do I believe it or not? It will help you figure out if you do or not. And I figure, like, at the end of that documentary, you're golden. It's, if you believe in science and math and all that stuff, it makes the supernatural become impossible to not be real. Exactly. Yes. Yes, really? Yes, really, Layla. So if everybody has Netflix, right? And even if you don't have Netflix, I know you have YouTube because we're here. YouTube the Drake equation when we're done. Please, you guys, it's golden. Isn't it, B? Ah! I don't think I locked my tripod. I have this skirt. It's really fun. And I also have an alien tattoo. I showed this in my full body tattoo tour video. Can you say that he's naked and he has this tiny little buns on this rock? And he's on some planet that has 2 suns, and yeah. His name is Goober. Thank you, guys. I love everything that's going on right now. Good! I'm happy. I'm actually happy to do a video like this, you know, where we're just chilling and just talking on the topic. And like I said, when my stomach is feeling better, we'll go through and I will read you guys the story of Billy Meier as much as you want to know. I'd love to do that. So I've got Silver Moon, Tennessee, where's who, and then B in Florida, and where's everybody else who's watching from? I'm here in the northwest of Washington, Seattle area. Are you wondering why I have these things behind me? I guess if the spotlight was off of them, it'd be easier to see. There we go. Oklahoma, that's right, I'm sorry. Where my nan's from. Okay, so can you see over here that I've got a Billy Meier book, and I've got this, what my dear friend Ashley in Scotland calls a lizard in a wedding dress. There's a reason these things are up here, you guys. I also do placement art, and I don't know what else to call it. My brother calls it not interior designing, but like, I don't know, like making oddity shelves, but all over your house. So I like to reorganize what I've got going on here. This is a really cool canister for tea that I thrifted of, you know, a lot of people think that I'm not going to say names, but I'm just going to show this, that we're looking at a lizard in a wedding dress, as far as like reptilians go. And my really close girlfriend named Ashley in Scotland was the one who said that and made me laugh so hard. She's like, it's not every day you see a lizard in a wedding dress. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. But yeah, David Icke talks a lot about also their marriage. Talks so much about their marriage and how she conceived the children and certain ceremonies they went through that were like black masses, like really, really dark satanic stuff to get her pregnant. And David Icke has maybe 30 minutes he talks about that, and it's horrifying because he backs things up, and you hear her talk about it on some like live interviews with this woman, what, Diane Sawyer or something in the United States. But yeah, look into it. It's all very interesting. Yikes, right. So because a lot of people believe that the reptilians, as an alien race, feed off the blood of children, and that is how they stay young forever. So, talking about my placement art and stuff, I've got a coronation cup that I've thrifted, and it's on a coronation plate that I've thrifted. They're not the same year of make. And then I've got, my little teaspoon inside some what might be reptilian food, which is totally morbid and bad, but I'm not afraid to shy away from that in my art at all. I love to shock people. That's my hope with my art. So yes, let's have some reptilian tea. Not really, but just funnily enough. Cheers! Do you guys know that there's a theory that there's no difference between Elizabeth I, who first had the crown she wears, and it's so funny to hear her talk about, where do you think those jewels came from? She's like, well, we think, but in her eye you can see that. I think she lived it, man. That Elizabeth I, her and Queen Victoria, all the same person. Just maybe just like shape-shifted into a different... I mean, they really all don't look that different. Queen Victoria was really heavy set, but other than that, I mean... So these are some queens that have been the last, like, what? 300 or 400 years, is that right? I love the story of Mary, Queen of Scots, and Queen Elizabeth I, and how it was like a Protestant Catholic war. That's really interesting. Hi, Allie. Thank you for saying I look pretty. Oh, it's fine. You're not late. Everybody's doing good. We're only 17 minutes in. You didn't miss anything. You can rewatch the beginning earlier, but we're just talking about a little bit about Billy Meier. I'm not going to do a ton of reading tonight because I have a bellyache, but we're just sitting and we're chilling and we're talking about aliens, and any kind of like conspiracies that anybody wants to talk about. That's what we're doing. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys, hi Tess. I didn't say hi to you yet. I didn't see her here. I wanted to show you guys all my books. All my, like, alien books. Let's start with, like, the first thing that everybody thinks about when we talk about aliens, at least in the United States, or people that don't know a ton about different breeds of aliens and stuff. What is that you guys think of, like, what I'm talking about? Do you want to say? Like, what does everybody think about when they think about, farms and aliens? Think about crop circles, right? I love this book. It talks about... Oh, we'll get there. Tess and Silver Moon, you guys are on the same exact thought, aren't you? There are so many radical crop circles that have been found all over the world. In this book, I think these are just all from the United States. I found this at a Barnes & Noble for, like, in the, like, bargain section. Because I cut up books, or I love to cut things up and make collages. So, like, I wanted to buy this to cut it up. One of my craziest crop circles that I actually want to get a tattoo of one day, because it, like, really chilled the bottom of my soul, It was a crop circle that I saw a small documentary about, or it was a little topic within a documentary, and it was talking about, this crop circle is crazy because it's an exact map of the universe down mathematically, even with the, smaller constellations and shit, like you could see little bits and pieces, but it's the whole universe but without Earth. So it was just like chilling when I heard that as a young child, and I was just like, they're messages, man, like in some form or another. But I always, like, I have a lot of space on my back, as you guys can see. I always wanted to get some crop circles in my back, but I'm glad I didn't, because now I want to give, like, a big musical tribute with, like, Maynard from Tool, in, like, a picture of him from 1994 when he has that big mohawk singing. I want to get a bunch of stuff on my back. I want to get actually, I want to do a portrait of my... Nah, I don't want to talk about that yet. Yeah, we love Tool here, you guys. We love Tool. Signs was a great movie. That movie was chilling to me, and also, you know how water is a conduit and we leave it out as offerings? In that movie, that little girl, like, left water out all over the place, just intuitively? And I think that that's so killer because, one big topic I wanted to talk about in this particularly was, oh my god, did you guys know that Tool is total alchemy as well? Don't let me forget about that. I'm on a tangent. Back to signs and then back to Tool. Okay. Anyway, it's just, I wanted to also just bring up, like, how people use cryptozoology in witchcraft. Why couldn't we use aliens in witchcraft if we believed in certain races of aliens and messages we've received through psychics like Billy Meier, which we'll kind of get into more when we talk about him. But I want to talk about that. And now we'll talk about Tool. Look into this. Tool's drummer's name is Danny Carey. Okay? And there have been small bits and pieces on documentaries about this. Like, you can find them on YouTube, but you really have to dig. Like, I used to get into stuff and dig and dig and dig and Google search and, like, do my research and everything I could and tear it apart until I was, like, I found something. You know, I had to find it or I couldn't stop. There's bits and pieces out there about how, you know how it takes Tool so long to put out a new album, and right now they're just about to finally put out this new album, but it's like, what do you mean new? Like, it's been, you know, what, 5-6 years since, I mean, but that's an awesome band. Like, they tour all the time, they play the same stuff, and people are still like, oh my god, you know. Maynard doesn't even perform in front of the crowd anymore. Do you guys know that? Like, it's a big deal if you see videos of him in front of the crowd. So anyway, how is Tool connected to alchemy? Well, that band depends on Danny Carey to write all the drum stuff first. And then they do lyrics, and then they do guitar, and then they do everything else. Also, when you break apart that band, the bassist is fucking off the hook. The guitar, the drums, the singing, every single part of that band, all of them went to art school, so they're all artists beyond the fact that they can just sing or play instruments. They're literal, like, physical artists. You know, Maynard did all the claymation for those videos, which Kurt Cobain said that he took from some other people, which is fine. But I think that the best artists steal a little bit from here and there to make their own stuff. So I don't think Kurt was giving him enough credit. And I will really try to attach that Kurt interview where he talks about this. Also, I love to read books that famous people did. And okay, wait, we didn't even talk about alchemy. Okay. So they rely on the drums to do that first before they start a new album, write a new song, lyrics, everything, all of it. But the thing is that Danny Carey puts his drum set in the shape of the Kabbalah. Raise your hand if you know what the Kabbalah is. I still don't fully understand it, but it is something that, like, Aleister Crowley worked with, and lots of other, even very peaceful people work with, and it's part of the Judaic, like, the Jewish religion, especially the old school Jewish traditions, which are called Hasidic. But I mean, it was, like, really a main part of that, I believe. I'm not like a pro on all the different religions, but I have looked into all of them. I'm gonna get into comments and tell you. Okay, so then the songs are all like his drum set's in the shape of the Kabbalah, and then he writes the like drum stuff based on like parts of the book of the Kabbalah. And so the songs actually are like spells. Do you understand? Like they're like workings from a Jewish mysticism book called the Kabbalah. And then the Kabbalah has this like tree of life shape, and that's how he puts his drum set. So the music that he's making is coming from like prayers, and it's really hard to get a full story out of my mouth on how to tell you what that means, but look into it. It's amazing. So just when you thought Tool couldn't be any more amazing, there you go. It is pretty rad. Alright, so look into the Kabbalah and Tool and all that. You just have to take the time to research it all. Yeah, I think we can use aliens too, because people use all kinds of stuff. And we use unicorns in certain parts of the craft, and we use, you know, lots of different stuff. Jeff, who lives at home, Ellie? What? Alright, so now let's talk about the next topic, which is going to be... Yeah, so Tool is actually a band formed on a form of alchemy. Yep. No, they don't practice witchcraft. I'm saying that the drummer is the one who's firm on, like, I start this, like, everything starts kind of with the drums, and the band all agrees upon that. And then the drummer sets his drum set in the tree of life, the Kabbalah, the shape of that, where no other drummer sets it up like that. Like, if you've ever seen him perform, there's YouTube videos, and you can watch him perform from, like, a God's eye view, where you're looking down upon it. It's in the shape of the Kabbalah. And other drummers just have him around. And he's got way more drums than normal drummers, and, I mean, it's not like Led Zeppelin with a gong and shit, you know, John Bonham, wow. Amazing, except for that they stole their lyrics, so that's a bummer. Well, a lot of people do think that, and if you match it up to other music, the lyrics aren't necessarily stolen, but the music is. Crop circles, we're looking at lots and lots of beautiful books. So yeah, the crop circles is what reminded me of the shape of that drum set. Look at this one. This one looks so funny. It looks like a little double. I don't want to say the rest. Drums from Slipknot. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's one. And then I have one that was a gift from probably Alex, but I think it might have been from someone else. It is... Did everybody see my alien skirt? Super fun. Next. This one is all from Wiltshire. And you guys know I love the UK, right? Yeah, exactly, Silver Moon. I just didn't want to say it out loud because I want to post this on the Amino app, perhaps. Who knows? I don't think that I can really get it on there because it doesn't super apply to witchcraft. But hi, Wild Witch! How are you? In Portugal, right? If you guys have not found the Wild Witch yet, he's amazing. He is amazing. We have so much in common. He's this wicked little witch, male from Portuguese, or he's Portuguese and from Portugal, and we have so much in common. And so we've been just talking about doing collabs, and everything that we talk about is so spot on, same page. You just woke up? Well, thanks for joining us. Good morning. Hello. Here are some crop circles from Wiltshire. Which is like where I heard that they filmed part of the show Skins, if you know that British show. Here's a monolith. And a lot of witches go there to do, like, you know, the summer and the winter festivals, right? The solstice, the summer and the winter solstice. I have lots of the friends over in the UK, but none of them are awake right now. I think they're all asleep. Okay, so other books I've got. Ooh, look at this picture. So pretty. Look at those witchy roots. Oh my goodness. I love that. So that's this book here, Sacred Beauty, The Crop Circles of Wiltshire. Having some alien tea. Some reptilian tea. Is that light bothering anyone? It's my alien lamp. It's really fun. So what else do we have here? We have a book on cryptozoology, which I've talked about on another live before, so I'm not going to really talk about it a ton. But this is a big, 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 thick book talking about every river monster, every big type of Bigfoot from around the world, every type of everything you can ever think of that's a mythological creature. And we've got 2 books on cryptozoology. If you've ever had a real experience with any kind of cryptozoology, I don't want to call them characters, cryptozoology being, please, please, please let me know, including aliens, because I would like to do a Hangouts video with you on my channel and make maybe that's something that I can do. That would be really fun and interesting to me, in my opinion. My next book on cryptozoology is like this one, which I've already shown on my channel. Good one, but not like loads of pictures or topics, just like more of the main ones. Chupacabra down in Mexico. This one is a true story of an Alps Bigfoot, America. Seen stars move. Like when you look at them, then they're shooting stars, like after you've looked at them. Is that kind of what you mean by that? I think most of my friends here are artists. I want to talk about that real quick. How many of you are artists, and what kind of art do you do? I think every single witch is an artist, even if herbalism is your art, or spells and workings are your art. But are you guys actually like particular artists? Do you make jewelry? Do you, what do you do? No, the stars don't move. They move slowly when they should be staying still. And so, Layla, if it was me, I would make sure you get a periscope, or whatever you call it, not periscope, telescope, so that you can make sure that it's not actually a teeny tiny airplane. I know that that's dumb, but I used to think that when I was little, and then my mom finally got me one of those, and I was like, oh, bummer for me. But I'm sure you're actually seeing what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. You paint, draw, and do Native American jewelry, Silver Moon. That is so awesome. I love Native American jewelry, dream catchers, and applying that all to witchcraft is so cool. And then just recently when I learned about hoodoo, applying that to hoodoo is so cool because the Native Americans got all along so well with the Africans that came over, that were unfortunately into slavery, that brought conjure, but they got along so well, so a lot of their workings, are really close and really tight. B. Young does painting, stained glass furniture, knotworks, mosaics. I want to do stained glass so bad. B, you've got to come up here from Florida and teach us how to do that. You made a dream catcher for your son not long after he was born. Your son's so cute, Silver Moon. Woodwork upcycling. Oh, upcycling is great too. I love that. Have you guys all seen my cougar up here? Effie? And my duck? My duck doesn't have a name. If you guys think of a cool name for my duck, you should let me know. But yeah, if you haven't seen my cougar Effie, she's cool. Aliens. I feel like we always get off track. Aliens. Encyclopedia of Ancient and Forbidden Knowledge. Quacky. No, I like old stuffy names, like, you know, I use the word Bernard for, like, one person or whatever. Anyway, like, I like old stuffy British names a lot, too. You name the duck mallard, that's cool. So for me, the things that pop up, I just, like, try and, like, name things based on what name pops into my head, but for that particular one, nothing's ever popped into my head. I'll think of something someday, though. So yeah, this book is great, especially if you're trying to figure out more about your blood types. Yeah, and the name Effie comes from the show Skins, because I fell in love with the character. Let's pop out a book and talk about Billy Meier really quick. So, I know in another video we talked about, and I showed you this book that I got, and I didn't know that it was so rare, and I got it in a bookshop. Basically, I paid like $18 for it or something, and it's on eBay. You try and get them, and they're like about $300 a piece right now. And that's what we had to pay for volume 2, and there's actually 4 volumes. So basically in these books, they tell, yeah, but the funniest part is that I totally wrote a note on the inside not knowing how expensive the book is, so it has to be ours forever. Which of course it was going to be, but it's like, it's hilarious that I did that. Yeah, oh my gods. So it has gorgeous pictures talking about, like, I'm going to read you like they used to read on Reading Rainbow, okay? Raise your hand if you know what Reading Rainbow is. If you do, you're awesome socks. I love this picture. Yeah, Reading Rainbow. I know, dude. I was going to call myself the Book Witch before I decided I'm Taxidermy Witch, but, like, it's Taxidermy Witch, I'm so glad I chose that, but I'm definitely a Book Witch. Chen the Librarian. Look at this picture. So amazing. These are all taken in Sweden. Well, except these. And this book's huge. Like, it's very, very big. Look how, you know, it's the size of my hand and arm. It's big. These are shots of the Pleiades. Here's a shot of a Pleiadian spaceship. And remember, all of these shots, and there's documentaries on there, and I know that Maddie told me, I think, that she was like, I looked into it, they can't be debunked. You know, back in the 60s and when these pictures were taken, you would think that they just held like a string with a little thing in front of a camera, but they've been analyzed scientifically today with our highest technologies, and they cannot be debunked. So, anyway, Billy Meier used to invite loads of people out to his ranch to follow the Pleiadian, you know, what they said that the world was coming to, and how they said you could save yourself. And that's what this whole entire book is about. Because Billy Meier said that he used to go up in spaceships since he was 5 years old with these people, or astral travel with them to space. He said he had been there both physically, astral travel, through some kind of meditation, and that at some points of his life he could just close his eyes and focus enough, meditation, and literally be somewhere else, like on this planet or on their ship with them. But the crazy thing is that the pictures can't be debunked. However crazy the story is, the pictures can't. This is the most peaceful story. It's people that look, it's aliens that look like, and you can actually see a couple of the aliens showed up, you can find them on YouTube documentaries. Semyasi is the name of the girl who has long blonde hair, and I think we'll have a picture of her in this book. But yeah, she is absolutely beautiful. They look like Nordics, and I don't mean Nordic like Norse. I mean Nordic aliens, which is a very tall humanoid figure, but more like 9 feet tall rather than, 6, 7 feet tall. And then they have, no, not Photoshop B. There's no Photoshop. Like, just look into it. Because I wouldn't even be here talking about it or so passionate about this particular one that you might be able to use with witchcraft without, like, I believe it. You certainly can look into it, but it's awesome. So yes, Billy Meier. And we'll do the reading through here because there's just so much cool, like, it doesn't go on and on. Look, here's a quote from Semyase right now. Okay, I'll just do that because I was calling to me. So the woman that Billy was in contact with since he was a little boy until the time of his death, here's just a quote from her on a random. And again, we'll go through this book and read it together because it's so cool. We too are still far removed from perfection, the Pleiadians, and have to evolve constantly, just like yourselves, Earthlings. We are neither superior nor superhuman, nor are we missionaries, but we have taken on certain tasks, such as, for example, the supervision of developing life in space, particularly human, to ensure a certain measure of order. In the course of these duties, we do here and there approach the denizens of various worlds. I don't know what denizens means. Select some individuals and instruct them. This we do only when a race is on stage of higher evolution. Then we explain and prove to them that they are not the only thinking beings in the universe. And that's from Semyase, spelled Semjase. So if you want to YouTube Billy Meier, Semyase, and Pleiadians, you can find a video of something that they say is her appearing on a talk show. It's really hard to explain why that would happen, and it's never really been explained why that happened, but you know how sometimes we just have clips of old 70s stuff, and it's like, they didn't have the technology to put it like digitally together, I suppose. Here's just another small quote from her, okay, just a small one. And Ptah is the male. Ptah is Semyase's partner that Billy often saw as well, and he was a big, tall man, humanoid-looking man, just taller, 9 feet rather than 6 feet. Ptah says in 1975, a single second in the timeless accounts to many million years in normal space. And this is a quote from Semyase in 1975. We do not reach to an end of the universe, for such does not exist. This is a really good picture, and then I'll read a quote from Semyase if you guys are liking these quotes. Although terrestrial man may have taken his first step into space, this is still a question. This is 1975, I'm sorry. This is still a question of primitive attempts, even though he has been able to fly to your moon with missiles. He is still to reach space because to achieve this end, he has a force, propulsion, that is able to produce a hyperspace velocity, so that the tremendous distances are reduced to something negavable. That's something you can navigate. Then space and time are overcome by non-space and non-time, that is. Space and time are reduced almost to an annihilation. Through the mastering of this technology, fractions of seconds are sufficient to accomplish light years of your calculations. Semyasi, 1975. So, these are just all quotes of a bigger picture, of a bigger story, where Billy used to type out, either when he was in a hypnotic trance with one hand on a typewriter, you know, his whole life, not just the 70s when his contacts, you know, we're into the end of the part of the book where his contacts were later in his life, but he talks about contacts from his whole life. Here's a picture in this Billy Meier book of Devil Tower, Wyoming, and it says that here's the Pleiadian connection in North America. I even forgot this part of the book was here. I'm so happy we're looking at it. Because I am in North America. Here's the Pleiadian connection to North America. Devil's Tower, Wyoming. We'll read about that really quick. Also, the connection to Greece, the connection to Egypt, the connection to Mexico, South America. Yeah, so how is it connected to North America? The Devil's Tower, Wyoming. In American Indian legend, we find the Pleiades are connected with the Mato Tepe, or Devil's Tower. That curious and mysterious impressive rock formation which rises like a colossal petrified tree stump to a height of 1,300 feet above the plains of northeastern Wyoming. Like, it's literally a huge tree stump that's made of stone, I believe. So it just looks like a tree stump. And it's just like this huge, massive plateau. Nothing on the top but a bucket and a rock. No, a bucket and a mop. And an illustrated book about birds. Okay, so according to the lore of Kiowa, the tower was raised by the Great Spirit to protect 7 Indian maidens who were pursued by giant bears. The maidens were afterward placed in the sky as the Pleiades cluster, and the marks of the bear's claws may be seen in the vertical striations of the sides of the tower unto this day. The Cheyenne, which is a tribe of Native American Indians, had a similar legend. And that came from Robert Burnham Jr. in Burnham's Celestial Handbook, Volume 3. Then it's also tied to North America through the Great Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico. But my throat is not feeling it right now, so I'm going to skip it. There's a lot to talk about in this book, though. It's really awesome. How is everybody? So it's literal typing in this book. Dictations. And it's an easy read because it is so interesting. Even if this is a work of science fiction and Billy's got everybody in the world tricked, it is a good read from start to finish. Like a peaceful read. A loving read. Yeah, awesome sauce. Exactly, you guys. Yeah, Devil's Tower, right, Layla? That's awesome. Okay, so now I want to talk about some more books that I've got. We always think of Area 51. This is one that my husband Alex has read from start to finish and says it is fantastic. There's also a really good YouTube doc on this all of that. Oh, I need to do my nails. What in the world? I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, next. We've got it upside down. It is extraterrestrial archaeology. Incredible proof we are not alone. This is that famous Dark Side of the Moon face, I believe. Well, I know it's a moon face, but spooky. It looks like a Jason mask, yeah? Huh! Well, I have my own thoughts on these pictures, but good info in this book. Fun read. The Unexplained. Crop circles, voices, hoaxes, human hand messages. What are those? So cool I opened right up to the Ogopogo because that is the one person that's contributed to cryptozoology for me so far. Oh, what was his name? I found him on Witches and Pagans. We've been chatting. And he lives in Canada, like up toward Alaska, and he's actually witnessed this. Him, 2 other friends, and a girlfriend that wouldn't turn around, but it was behind her. So, wow, I'm definitely marking that page because I flew open to that for, it's just crazy. It's called Levithians of the Lake and River. North America's foremost freshwater. So excited. There's so much to say about the Ogopogo? Potato, how would you pronounce it? Trippy, right? You see an Indian in the moon when it is full? That was awesome. Wow, that's awesome. So the Unexplained is just a good one that, like, just kind of give you little bits and pieces on that kind of stuff. I like it. We have a whole bookshelf of this. Like, I've got, 25 more books sitting here? So many. So, at some point, if I run out of witchcraft stuff, I could just make a little channel on aliens, couldn't I? I won't. I won't ever run out of witchcraft stuff in my whole life. I just won't. And neither will you. Because we've got each other. Mystic Places. This is an old, I think we got these for a couple bucks on eBay. And they've just got, pictures of crop circles and pyramids and, real basic, mystic places of the world. And then, in the same set, they have the UFO phenomenon, which has some really wicked pictures of some really cool alien stories throughout the United States. Like, for instance, I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the old couple, but there's a couple in the 50s that described this, and they kind of, how people do a police sketch? Well, they did a police sketch of what they said they saw, and it was something like this. Did you know that there is something called MUFON? MUFON. The Mutual UFO Network. Yeah. And my husband and I are MUFON members. And what you can do outside of MUFON, besides just being a member, you can become an alien investigator. Now, you don't get paid for this. But if you're an alien investigator in some place like we are, in Seattle, near a mountain like Mount Rainier, there's a lot of spottings out here. If you're in Utah, if you're in Las Vegas, if you're in the desert, You can do MUFON and you can become a mutual UFO network member and become an alien investigator. And I should have worn my MUFON sweater, but I thought that this would be more fun. However, next video maybe I will. But look into becoming an alien investigator in your local area, because if nothing else, you can get called out and to do an investigation, and you are literally like, that's special to me. If you can be the person that gets to do that, wow, that's really, really cool. So you go out and you talk to the people and you take samples and you use your EMF detector and you take classes on how to know how to do that and all of that. It's really cool. I'm really happy you guys are also talking to each other, and because I encourage that. We're all family here, right? I love you guys. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, just remember in the 50s, like, oh, if you guys have not looked into the theory of, well, not theory, the Glock. Do you know what the Glock is? That word in German means the bell. And so, in World War II, Hitler was obsessed with the occult. And he was also a humongous drug addict. Just know that. He was amped up on speed and heroin, and there's documents all about that. I'm not excusing anything he did. I'm just saying that he was really into all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But he believed that with enough money, he could build a spaceship. So the Germans during World War II were working on a project called the Glock. And it is a bell-shaped UFO. And a lot of people said they saw that same exact thing, but actually they saw it, what, in the 70s? So what if, because now that's there, there's no Glock left, it's just the standing. Like in the middle of the forest in Germany, there's these pillars it used to stand on. But then it was spotted in like the 70s. So what if it took off in the 40s and they actually made some sort of contact? Because there was a society called the Vril, and they were like, it was a weird occult society that was tied to Nazis and to aliens and to long hair and clairvoyance and all this stuff. But it's just wild to think that what if that bell is what showed up in the United States in the 70s and crashed into a field? And I'm not talking about Roswell. I'm talking about the Glock crash. Yeah. I'm going to Google that. You should, because it's a really interesting topic. Yeah. Oh, Operation Paperclip, you guys, please look into that. I don't want to talk about it on my channel because it's too hairy and deep, but I'll just say a super tiny intro. Okay, I have to say it's a political topic, so that's something I definitely don't talk about. But look into what it is, because it ties into like your everyday life today and the effed up shit that happened in World War II, like for instance Planned Parenthood and where it was devised and where it came from. It did not come from a good place. It used to be something before it was Planned Parenthood, which is called eugenics. So I'm done talking about that. But I should have brought up... Oh, if you guys hold on for a second, I'll get my book on eugenics. I have a book that's 120 years old that was written on how we should breed, on how they thought that we should breed in the late early 1900s. Okay, I'll go get it. But you guys, just know that I have this stuff because it interests me so much. I don't think it's right. I think it's massively fucked up. And that's why I have it. I want a piece of this history before it's gone. So I can show my daughter and my grandkids, like, you're only 150 years away from this book. Like, don't think that we're not, you know. So I'm going to go get that. I'll be right back. Thanks for waiting. I should have some music, huh? I'll turn on some music for y'all. Music, old books, new books, it's all good. listen to Tool. Or we could listen to Grateful Dead, American Beauty. What do you guys want to listen to? Do you guys want to listen to Opiate by Tool? Yeah. Does anyone not want to hear that? It's not in the case. Damn CDs. Please be right here. I'll think of you. Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Leonard Skinner, The Beatles, The Cure. I'll put on Red Hot Chili Peppers and we'll look for Tool in a little bit. It's nice because I feel like we're hanging out. Like, this is what we would be doing if we were here hanging out at my place. We would be finding different music to listen to, finding different conspiracies to talk about, and also filming a video. Because, like, when Irene comes over, we film videos, you know? It's fun, fun, fun stuff. So I'll leave you with some Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I'm going to go grab that really old book that I was talking about. I'll be back. Can you see that? Isn't that creepy ass shit? Eugenics. What? Well, I'm sorry. Alright, it's crazy to think that, like, somebody wrote a book like this and said this is how you should breed. So I'll show you some of the pictures. Let me turn the music down. Oh, flea on base. I thought you were saying there's a flea on the base of the book, and I was like, what? That's horrible. Yeah, I did say breed. That's right. Do you guys know what the word eugenics means? Eugenics became genetic. Think ancestry DNA, now being called, yeah. Reprogenics. I don't know about reprogenics. I haven't looked into it. But eugenics was basically something that Hitler was obsessed with. He was obsessed with creating a very pure race. And so, yeah, look into Project Paperclip and how that ties to eugenics, because I don't want to say much more than that. Okay, so let's look at some pages of the books. Right, Tess, I you know, I have agreeances with parts of that too. But I want you guys to form your own, like, theories. Like, what do you think, you know? So this book basically is falling completely apart. I can barely open it and look through it because the pages are like this. But I could read some passages from it. They're gonna be really eerie. I'm just gonna open it to whatever page calls to me on this video to read to you guys. Okay, so we've got a picture of this woman, and below her it says purity. And there's some instructions for how to prevent the hair from falling out. And you've got some little like homeopathics for that. Because remember, homeopathics were still a big deal during this time. We were in the late 1800s, so allopathics were kind of just coming in. Allopathics are pills. Ooh, here's a good one. The proper relations of children. And they've got a photograph in case you don't know what that would be. And that's a child toting the American flag, along with all the other children having the American flag, apparently all dressed in white. Little hats with points at the top, or giant bows for the females, it looks like. That's a little bit trippy because of what happened later in the United States with white pointy hats. I've not read this book from start to finish. I know that I will because it's insane. It talks about, on the next page, we're in a chapter called Love, Adoption, and Courtship. The mating period. In some countries, young people are continuously guarded by relatives during their mating period. What is that? While under American methods, many people would resent this course. It is the better way to ensure their future happiness and to save them from being swept blindly along by love or fancy until too late to repair the mischief wrought. You guys, it's arranged shit. It's not about love. It's not about your soul. It's about your DNA and making it the purest. Like, that's really sad. That's really sucks. And that's this. It's crazy. And actually, when this book came to me in the mail, I cleansed it a lot of times. I could not almost keep it in my house. And I had let somebody borrow it to read it because they couldn't believe what the content would be. And I was like, they couldn't keep it in their house. They were like, I've been sick for a week since you left this here. And I was like, oh, just give me the book back, you know. Sounds like what a lot of Christians say to us witches. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? So then, like, let's just do another passage and another picture, because I feel like that might be the most interesting way. Here's a doting picture of a father and a daughter, you know, which is eerie to me. I don't know why, but hi, Greg. How are you? Good day from Wisconsin. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay, so we're on page 121 and it says Ethics of the Unmarried. Should the unmarried spoon? Question mark. I'm not kidding. So I'll read that because I'm really intrigued into what that's going to say. In the human family, spooning belongs only to the married life. This is written in 1895, so I don't know if spooning means what we think it means, but we'll find out. If indulged in by married people beyond reasonable limits, it leads to sensuality, physical, mental, and moral injury. If indulged in, even to a very limited extent among the single, it is fraught with the gravest temptations. True love will find expression. Intelligent love, love guided by moral convictions, will find only the channels of expression that are safe. If young people would meet each other at the marriage altar with unkissed lips, meet each other at the married altar? Guys, wow, with unkissed lips, there would be few brightened lives and wrecked homes. While a goodbye kiss might be indulged in occasionally near the close of an engagement by pure-minded young people without any apparent harm, this is necessary to their happiness and necessary to expression of love. I'm reading this to you guys because it's crazy. It's crazy. Throughout this book, it promotes not knowing each other before marriage, only building a family upon where you came from in your DNA. Did you know, and this is true information, you can look it up right now, did you know that in the United States, it was illegal for quite some time for someone to marry out of their race? Like, for instance, the first marriage that ever happened in the United States was a marriage to a Hindu man and an American woman. This marriage was done not legally, but by every means it was done legally, but they didn't legalize it. They used to say, and this does attach directly to Project Paperclip if you look into it, like for instance, it's 1925. A black man and a white woman want to get married. Yes, you can, but you know what you have to do in order to get married? You just have to go to the courthouse and get a blood test. And then that blood goes on file for all of time. And then you have to get, what do they call it? They sterilize you. If you want to marry this person, you sure can in the United States of America, but you are now sterile, and so is that person. They sterilize the man and the woman if they wanted to join in wedlock. That breaks my heart. But okay, it's warming that people loved each other so much that to be married, it would be okay to them just to be together. And it's beautiful, but it's so sad that shit like this carried on. And nobody knows about that, and nobody talks about that, but that's true stuff. And that's what? The 30s. So we're 90 years ago? Where we're sitting right now? I mean, it's not nice. Yeah, let's be done with eugenics, but let's get back into that in a different video. I don't want this video to be like super doom and gloom and talking about Hitler. That's not where I want to go with my channel really at all. Let's talk about just some more aliens and some more things like that. Have you guys ever heard of, 23andMe? The newest American Horror Story. Please look into those DNA databases. Yeah. Oh, here's another really fun topic. Hunt for the Skinwalker. Do you guys know what Skinwalkers are, or do you know where the Skinwalker Ranch is? Utah, I believe. For more than 50 years, the bizarre events at a remote Utah ranch have ranged from perplexing the wholly terrifying, vanishing and mutilating cattle, unidentified flying objects, the appearances of huge unworldly creatures, invisible objects emitting magnetic fields with the power to speak to a cattle stampede, flying orbs of light with dazzling maneuverability and lethal consequences. Like, all this stuff happens right there over that ranch. Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch. That's another really cool thing to look up, you guys. Skinwalker Ranch. Layla, basically, it terrifies me too, but that's definitely why I wanted to talk about it. Craziness. In this book, we get to read about what U.S. military leaders have learned about UFOs and how they concealed this knowledge from the public What really happened at Roswell, including the alleged discovery of alien corpses, the shocking connection between Adolf Hitler and super intelligent alien beings, President Truman's top secret MJ-12 document containing actual debriefings of UFOs and witnesses, how a deal was struck with the ETIs to trade people and cattle for advanced alien technology, why Ronald Reagan warned the United States about a war of the worlds and what kept him from talking, what the rainbow conspiracy means for the future of planet Earth. A lot of info in that book, y'all. I agree with you, B, but I more think that we're observed than an experiment, you know, like, yeah, observed. I'm sad that my teeth aren't perfect, but not like super sad. As long as you guys don't think it's off-putting to see my crooked tooth, then I really don't care. But I do think it's quite witchy. Okay, in this book, we're talking about this book here. The hottest topic among UFO enthusiasts is what they describe as federal government's experiments with aliens. Timothy Good and a group of UFO investigators in the United States say that they have documentary evidence that the government hid its knowledge. Do. Be young. The fact that you just compared me to Bowie makes this aliens video something we need to talk about. Bowie and aliens, and then also makes my heart so warm because you're right. British people are so endearing, and just like David Bowie was with their naturally crooked teeth. I think my mom has some Welsh blood in her. He is the Starman. Oh, I know a David Bowie album we should play. That's what we should do. Suffragette City, I think. I don't remember what it's called. Are you guys having fun? Are you bored? Are you bored? Ooh, see? I knew I had it. Okay, my friend Regina gave me this CD when I was 21 years old, and I've had it ever since. Be Young. Thanks for bringing up Starman, because it's on here. I think it might be number 7 or something. Regina, I love you wherever you are in this world or this universe. This one might skip though because it's the original CD I had back in the day. Is that better? Is that better? David Bowie is missed. Did you guys know I saw him 13 times in my life and I'm only 36 years old and he died, what, 2 or 3 years ago? I started seeing his shows when I was 20. And if you guys have not seen his movies, and I'm not just talking about Labyrinth, of course we all know Labyrinth is amazing, but his movie, Brenda, tell us what the movies are, tell us what the movies are called. I have an art piece of David Bowie, it's really cool. It's at Peggy's though. Here's some Bowie. Please play. Yeah. Ah! It's starting out with Starman, isn't it? Oh no. 5 years. I love this song though, it's a really good one. I'm gonna cry. Look how fucking beautiful he is. And all the fat, skinny people. Susan Sarandon and the vampire. I thought I had more pictures of him around, but this is just one from the reality tour in 2003. He had a really cool haircut. It was like an angled bob, and at the time I had the same haircut. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's a great album. Basically, David Bowie, from the time that he performed in the late 60s, early 70s, all through, but especially in those Ziggy Stardust times and Starman times, not Ziggy Stardust, but Starman, he was talking directly about being from a different planet, you know, or being a human-alien hybrid. And then right before he died, he did a video where he wore that same astral travel outfit. It was really cool. Really occult and defining. Yeah, Bowie's definitely a legend. Kick mass. Where did you see me with that pixie hair, B? My Instagram's old. This is a good one. Alien history in ancient Greece. Encounters with death. This might work for both witchcraft and aliens. Aliens are documented every culture, every religion, every time period. 100 Bigfoot nights. Chilling true stories. The UFO cover-up. Oh, let's talk about this. Okay. This is a really important topic. I love to tell my younger family members about this, and I love to start it this way. Okay. Did you know, in the history of the United States of America, there have been 4 times when we put out a newspaper that very morning, like in the New York Times, and then later that day there was a second edition. Can you name those times? And the kids think back and they're like, 9/11? And you're like, good job. Yes, that was one of them. Now, do you guys know the other times that it happened besides 9/11? I want to hear if you guys know what any of them are before I say them. There's 4 times that happened where they put out a newspaper and then they put like, not a retraction, but like a second special edition that day for a very important reason. And the government, you know, did a reprint. Kennedy, yep, that's another one. President Kennedy, 9/11. What else? Sorry. Roswell, yep, that's the 3rd one. And in Roswell, after that happened, they said, nope, it was a weather balloon. That is the joke around our house, is like, Oh, I guess it was a weather balloon. And if we say, I guess it was a weather balloon, it means that that's complete shit. Like, whatever you just said was complete lie. There's one other time, you guys. Do you know the third time? We'd said 3 times. We said 9/11. We said Kennedy. We said Roswell. What's the 4th time? Hi, Pink. How are you? I'll give you a clue. It was a war. No, not the moon landing. That was completely the government's own. There would be no reason for a retraction. But good guess. Not WW2. Yeah, WW2. Here, Pearl Harbor. Yep, Pearl Harbor. Good job, you guys. I love you. You guys got them all. And that's what's fun about my channel, right? I think that allowing yourself to guess makes it more fun than just hearing the information. Like on Jeopardy, sometimes it happens too quick and you're like, I didn't get it, but I knew it. Give yourself time. I'm always going to give you guys time, you know? Have you guys seen Strawberry? I painted her nails the same color as me. We could talk about this if you guys want to. There's a lot to say about this, and I will do a video just on the Statue of Liberty and ISIS and the fact that, you know, did you guys, yeah, okay, oh sure. Alright, let's do it. What is the Statue of Liberty? Besides a whole bunch of Masonic symbols on a teeny tiny island between Jersey and New York. Do you know where it came from? It was a gift to us from a country. Do you know what country that was? France, yes. Good job, B. Do you know that it was gifted to us second and that we actually had to pay for it? There was a country that it was offered to before us. Do you know what country that was? I kind of actually gave it away by saying an earlier clue. Oh, I love this song. I know you do too, B. Not France. Oh, you guys, I am shit at history. I learned this all myself, like, on my own, from books and whatnot. YouTube videos, documentaries, Google research. Okay, first, it was offered to Egypt as a real gift from France. I still haven't figured out why that is. But when it was offered to us, so it was a re-gift to us. It wasn't really meant for us. Statue of Liberty is a form of Isis, which is the goddess of magic of Egypt, right? Yeah, you guys didn't know that? I'm so glad that I could tell you a little bit about it. So, I have her in my room because I fucking love America and the freedom that America represents, okay? And I love the fact that we are able to vote and that we have all these amazing liberties and stuff like that. But I also love the fact that this is an Egyptian symbol of magic that's sitting in the ocean in New York. Like, or not in the ocean, in the Sound, you know. And it wasn't even a gift for us. And when they do the tour and you go up there, like, that's an amazing thing to do, by the way. But you know, they're not telling you the true history. So I would like to someday go up there again and be that person who tells, like, oh, and did you know this? The occultist tour guide of the... Yeah. But the city of New York is so fucking fascinating. There's so many buildings that have markings all over them that you will find in witchcraft, that you will find in satanic witchcraft, that you will find in all branches of the craft. And they've been on these buildings for 80 plus years. These buildings that were founded by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and everybody should, when we're done with this video, look into the 1972 Rothschilds Ball, the pictures of Salvador Dali, the pictures of Audrey Hepburn there, the pictures of, yeah. I'm getting a tattoo of, I think her name is Helen D. Rothschild, when she has that big deer face that she's wearing in that light blue dress. Yeah, it's cool shit. Of course it is. Stanley Kubrick, you guys. That's what I was talking about the other day. Kubrick did Eyes Wide Shut. Kubrick... Right. Let's just Skype about it, you know, because, yeah. So cool, though, to know that Lady Liberty is an Egyptian symbol of the goddess of magic. And why didn't Egypt want her from France? And, you know, how much did we pay for her after all, you know? That's all interesting stuff to me. I don't know. I want to know why. ISIS. Oh, ISIS. Let's talk about ISIS just super quick. ISIS. Bastet's auntie. I mean... Sorry, I'm trying to find some good pictures of her. Oh yeah! You guys, in my book of Isis, it talks about magical mandrake. I think that's really cool. Layla, really? Oh, really? Layla, that's so cool because Bastet... I would like to talk about how I ended up coming to her. Everybody knows that I do my own thing. I do what I want to do. I have to go to work for 3 or 4 shifts for 3 or 4 hours per shift a week. And other than that, I just stay at home. I do what I want to do. I listen to music. I sing. I eat. I play. I drink. I do all these things that are fun to me. And I act like a young person, and I relax, and I'm not afraid to lounge and let people take care of me, or me take care of other people when it needs be. And that's so Bastet. That's so everything that she is, you know. And she's so gorgeous and so beautiful, and I aspire to be like her. And so I was so drawn to her and attracted to her when I was trying to research which, you know, pantheons or deities or everything, and then I realized you can blend so many things as an eclectic witch. And I think a lot of us are really eclectic, even if we're pagans, or at least the people that I've met, and that's so inspiring and touching. And like, there's Wiccans, there's pagans, there's witchcraft, there's witches, it's all different, and you can choose your own path that's like particular to you. I just absolutely love it. For the 6 of you that have been hanging with me this whole time, I'm really having fun, and I'm really enjoying this. I know that it's like, you know, getting all off topic and stuff, but I feel like that's what a live feed kind of does, where we can talk to each other and play off each other, and it turns into just like us looking in books together and figuring out cool shit to talk about. You know? So yeah, thank you for letting me come home from work. After today was actually a really good day, and that's super rare, but most of the times after a really hard day, and just like talk to you guys, because I really do love you guys. And I know that people say, I love my family here and my friends, and like, I'm not saying that. Like, I you guys are part of me and part of my heart and who I'm becoming as this, like, new great woman, so. Today was a swamper, huh? Hey B, can you say yes or no if you're upset if I accidentally say your real name, because we talk in real life, and if that's not okay, then I will just keep calling you B, but are you upset if I call you by your real name? Isis, just, man, if you're trying to, like, if you've always really been attracted to Egyptian things, nah, okay, cool. If you've always been, like, okay, there's so many different types of deities or pantheons that I could look into. I don't know where to start. That's a really common question that I get asked. And what I have to say to that is, look at all the sections. Norse, Egyptian, Scottish. I mean, there's roots from every part of the world. Mexico. And then figure out, at that point, like, whether that's something that resonates with you. You know, as something you've always been drawn to. Have you always been, like, remember in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when they traveled through time and they went to Greece? Were you into the Greece part? Or were you into the part where they went to medieval? Or were you, they kind of, like, went through pantheons there, didn't they, a little bit? That's, like, a really rock and roll movie from my childhood. Keanu Reeves' first movie. And the guy that was the main star didn't even become big. What is this, you guys? Do you know? Yep. You got it, Brenda. It's a fig leaf. If you guys didn't know, you can crush these up. Well, you dry them in a book like I did. Super flat. How flat that is. And then you crush them up. Yes, good job, Purple Sky. And you make tea, and it's so good. I did a video all about it. I know that a lot of you watched that video, but it tastes really good. Some herbs like licorice and other things, I have to literally choke down those teas and tinctures. But the fig leaf tastes like an overcooked vegetable, which to me just tastes like Peggy's cooking. No offense, Mama, I love you, and I know after Thanksgiving there's a good chance that you're going to watch this. And that is all really weird and shocking to me to talk to you 2 days before I really come out and tell you about my channel. But, yeah, Peggy, if you're watching this and listening to this, know that, I'm still the same daughter that you had before, and I love you with all my heart, and I always talk about you with the most pure love and respect. But this lady, she gives her heart into everything, but she can't cook worth a damn unless it's fried chicken or pork cube steak with applesauce. Like those, like she does a couple things well. Anyway, yeah, everybody's been asking me, like, how have you been feeling, like, about coming out of the witchcraft closet to your family the one time a year you get to see everybody and talk to them about it. I've decided to do it personally. Like, for instance, I go there in the early morning, like 9 a.m., and I'm there all day. Until probably like, it gets dark at 4 or 5 now, so probably leave around like 6. I'll probably want to come home, you know? But that's a long day, you know, and that's a lot of good times and good fun. And also, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? I would love to hear about it. I want to say that I'll take some video at Peggy's, either with just like me and the goats, or, you know, I like to take you guys out of my studio. Cooking at home, that's awesome, Brenda. I'm sure that you are the cook. today at work, I invited, because like Japanese people that are Japanese Americans at my work, because I work at a Japanese restaurant. Really, really nice sushi bar, actually. I invited some of the people that are the meanest to me to my house. First I said, are you doing anything for Thanksgiving? Because they're Japanese. I don't know if they've got American friends or whatever. So then 3 out of 5 said, 3 out of 5 said, no, we don't do anything. We just take the day off. And I was like, oh. And then 2 out of the 5 said that they had, like, American friends that they hung out with. And I was like, that's awesome. So the 3 out of the 5, I said, hey, you want to come to Peggy's? And they actually know my mom because she's been coming in there for 20 plus years because I was working there. And they're like, at Peggy's? And I'm like, yeah. They said, who's going to be there? I'm like, you know my daughter. Everybody knows my daughter. Everybody knows my husband. Actually, my ex-husband usually goes too, and everybody knows him because I've been working there again for like 25 years. So, off and on. No, not 25. I'm not that old. 20 years off and on. I started in 1998 when I was 16 years old. But anyway, these people that are normally so mean to me and so harsh to me and barking orders and telling me that I'm worthless when I'm working, they couldn't understand why I invited them to my home. And I said, well, because I care about you and you're my family. And it wasn't uncomfortable for me, but for her in that moment, she was like, why is this person who I'm so mean to, this is what I think she was thinking, why is this person that I'm so mean to and I treat like pure shit, being so kind to me and offering me like a seat at their special family dinner? Because that's what Thanksgiving is about, yeah? Like, everybody celebrates it differently, but like to me it's about like coming together, especially bringing new people together and welcoming them into whatever family unit or love source you may have. And not enough people say I love you to their own family every single time they see them. And I'm not saying you guys, I'm saying like, for instance, like, in the Japanese culture, they don't tell their children I love you. They are just hard on them. So when I'm a worker there, they treat me like their children, and they're just hard on me. They don't say, oh, you did really good on that, but they'll tell you everything you did wrong on. And again, that's what they've told me time over time. My boss is like, don't feel like we're picking on you. It's part of how we do life. So I totally get that. But it doesn't make it any less hard or any less mentally. Like, I came home the other night and it was the first time in a long time I've wanted to punch someone or hurt someone. And it's not easy for me to admit that to you guys at all. And it was a feeling that I was not comfortable with. But this woman, you know, on a little video I'll tell a story. But basically she said I was worthless and said, what are you even doing here? Why don't you just go home? You're not helping anybody. And then she wouldn't let me come in the kitchen. She was like, do not come in here, stay out there. And I was like, what could I do to help the situation? Otis! What could I do to help the situation? And then she froze me out and said, I can't talk to you. Don't talk to me. So yeah, I was completely, I've been off since last Saturday, since that happened, you know? And I try not to let that affect me. Otis, come here! I try not to let that affect me, but at the same time, it's like, if the whole week you are fearing Saturday, and it's all because of one woman, like, so I made a decision on what I'm going to do, and it's not spell work. I'm going to try and, like, since she won't talk to me at work and she just freezes me out, I'm just going to go to work, and then, when I get off early, and then she's there till the closing happens, because she's like the main lady. I'm just gonna, it's gonna look super creepy. She's gonna be walking to her car, and I'm gonna come out and be like, you need to talk to me, because we have to fix this, because I can't be that angry that I physically picture hurting someone. Like, that is so not me. And it takes a lot to drag that out of me. And it's been 8 or 10 years since I've, like, thought like that. And for me, that's like, I'm such a beautiful person, and I really try and project help and beauty and compliments and love, and there is just so different. So yeah, you're right, Brenda. It is a culture. And it's one that I've been a part of off and on for 20 years, and I used to swear I would never do that again, you know. But anyway, I had a really great night tonight, and it was awesome. And I knew, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come home, I'm going to do my alien video, we're going to talk about this, we're going to have fun. We're over an hour and 45 minutes in. Thanks for everybody who's hanging out with me. Having a lot of fun. What else do you guys want to talk about? Starting it. He's so handsome, but look, he got his teeth fixed. He did. Bam, bam, bam. Mm-hmm. Layla is drawing and enjoying the chill videos. Well, I'm really happy about that. Yeah, no, work sucks. I mean, if it didn't suck, it would be called fun, right? Instead, it's called work, you know? But for me, I think these are mental things I have to get over, and these people keep popping up in my life because, for a reason, you know? So I feel like I just need to, like, embrace it, you know? I'm glad you agree, Purple. That makes me happy. And just sing and dance in the meantime, and have fun with my friends, and enjoy my life, because otherwise you sit there and you be sad, and you are angry, and oh yeah, and if talking to her at her car doesn't work, and if she does something like crazy, because I also heard from another waitress that she is a drama queen, which totally makes sense, but she like stalked her phone number, because we all get like an employee phone list, which I've not put my phone number on yet for perfect reason of the same thing. My friend there found my Instagram, found that I was a taxidermy witch, saw that that was me, and then found my YouTube channel, and I was like, right. So yeah, I'm a witch. I didn't tell you about that because it never came up. And she was like, I actually don't think it's weird that you're a witch. I think it's weirder you have a YouTube channel. And I was like laughing so hard at that. I'm like, that's hilarious, girl. And then today, when she spilt the salt at work, she's all, Jen, what do I do? And I was laughing. I was just like, oh my God. But anyway, this other waitress that's totally like drama queen or whatever, I guess she like stalks you through social media. And then tries to like call you out or whatever. I'm never gonna say her name on my channel, but I don't need to. You know who you are. If you ever watch this, you've hurt my feelings so much that it's gotten me to a point where, you know, it's taking time out of my normal day. And if that's what you want, then that's horrible. Like, you're a horrible person. Raise your hand if you like hoodoo lamps, or if you've done one up, or if you have an oil lamp somewhere, like in your family or your house or your mom's house or whatever. What's a hoodoo lamp? What's an oil lamp? Well, that's a good question. This is a working I have inside of an oil lamp for monies. What are genetic temperament problems? I also watched a movie on Netflix this morning. One and a half of them actually, and I was really intrigued and I wanted to see if you guys had seen them. There's a new movie that came out on Netflix that kind of hit like weird to home because I do this like live camera stuff. It's called Cam. And it was freaky. It was about clones and like, so trained. Okay, Layla, got ya. Okay, Brenda. What else, y'all? What should we talk about before we're not talking anymore? And what is the next herbal videos you guys need to see? Like, is there anything on herbalism you really want to see? Because chances are either I've got it, or I can grow it, or I can find it at my Asian grocery, and then Scotty's already got it in his book, you know. Let me know. This is lemon peel. I'm getting ready to do an incense. It smells like really good food. What does it smell like? Parsley? Nope. I'll do one on parsley though, Pink, for sure. Oh my god, Greg. Temperament issues, LOL, makes you want to go out back and smoke a pack of cigarettes. I totally get that. And also, Greg, are you new to my channel? I haven't seen you on the lives before that I remember at least. Yeah, so if you're new, welcome and really good to have you on a live. Do you guys see my eyeballs behind me? Oh, Greg, well, welcome. I'm glad that you're new here. Hopefully you're having fun. It's a very random chat, usually. I think the baby wants to say hello. I got this doll head at a garage sale, and it's a nice one. The eyes are stuck on one side and move on the other. Yeah, Brenda, what about John the Conqueror root? I need some. I've never ever worked with it, and I cannot wait. But again, I haven't had an income that's been sufficient for quite some time. So I've been using the herbs out of my cupboard to get through, which is great. Oh, I can definitely do a video on John the Conqueror root. I think Starlight you're in Oklahoma and don't you have John the Conqueror wild there? If you do, please send me some and I can do a video with the piece that you send me. If not, I can just order some up on Amazon as soon as I get the extra, or I can just maybe just draw an artsy picture of it or something if I don't have it. But normally, yeah, pink. John the Conqueror is a big one in hoodoo, and it's also something that is like native in the United States, and obviously if it's part of hoodoo, it's probably from the south of the United States. So yeah, John the Conqueror root. There's also High John. I think there might be Low John, and then there are 3 types of John. I know that, and they all do vastly different things. We've just done so many videos together, you guys. I feel like, oh, I'm really close to 500 people. And 5 is one of my very favorite numbers. I work in 3s, but one of my very favorite numbers is 5. So hitting 500 people does not mean what it means to everybody else to me. To me, it means I have 500 people that enjoyed my company enough, and what I had to say enough, to actually take the time from what they were doing to flip the camera or the video, find the like button or the subscribe button, and to me, that means a lot. It means that you wanted to be friends with me. It means that you wanted to connect with me. And again, I didn't have friends growing up. I grew up, and my best friends were animals, like cows and chickens and pigs on farms. I grew up in a house that had abuse. I grew up with, just like a lot of different elements to my childhood, and it was all really good, but it was all really like made me the person who I was, the empath that I was, the understanding how to read people's feelings and emotions rather than use words, which might be what makes work so hard for me. Oh, I know, I'll have fun with it. Yep. But what should I do? You know what? If you guys could, in the comments of this after we're done, each leave me like 3 questions, I would love to do a huge Q&A video. Can you guys help me with that? Can you guys start typing out things right now? Oh, a small dairy farm in Wisconsin. That's awesome. So, wait, Greg, right? Hold on, Greg. You'll enjoy this. Okay, this is for you, Greg. Cows were my first real friends. They were more reliable than people to me when I was a really small child. So I used to be this tiny compared to a cow when I was 3 years old, and I used to throw my arm up over it and just hold it and love onto it. And cows are so close to me. And then I have this cool 2-headed cow. Which reminds me, you guys, I'm going to get a hand tattoo on the top of this hand. Okay? And I have a couple of ideas, but I'm getting this tattoo done really quickly. Like, I think in the next 2 weeks, and I have to make a big decision. And the reason, I've just been like up and down on what I'm going to get. Holstein. Yes, Holstein. Also, pigs are such beautiful animals. Probably not so much to ingest because their meats don't blend well with the human body. If they're not cooked the right way, you can get parasites in your body, as you can with fish and other stuff as well. But pigs are the best friends, you guys. They're so great. They're so loving. And we currently have goats, which we love. Bless your heart, Maggie. We just had one of our 3 goats pass away, and I did a video to say goodbye to her, and I did a video of her before she passed away, and yeah, it was just one morning my husband woke up and said, like, Maggie passed away, and we were just like, what? So yeah, we think she had like some kind of cancer in her neck. She had like a little bubble in her neck or whatever, and but man, she was the happiest goat kid like ever, and she was the run of the litter, and there's a lot of chances that there's a lot of things that could have, gone on with her. When we first got her when she was super little, she was sick for a long time, and we had to give her antibiotic shots and stuff, which made us sad, but it was the only way to save her life. And so at that point, you can't have, organic goat milk, and that's fine. Oh, so funny, Brenda. Right when I said goat milk, you put up goat cheese. We decided not to have the kids do milk and cheese because we don't live at Peggy's anymore, but we used to live at Peggy's. Astrological One, hi! Nice to see you. We're talking about a lot of things. Farms, aliens, the Statue of Liberty. We're talking about all kinds of topics, so welcome. But especially aliens and things like that. Hello. So, the CD is over. What do you guys want to hear now? Do you want to hear Sublime, or do you want to be done? Do you want to say goodbye? It's been 2 hours. Do you want to hear... I mean, I'm up for hanging out. I just have to have a little tiny break. So, let me put on some music, and I'll be back.
Sighing. News had just come over. We had 5 years left to crying. News guy wept and told us Earth was really dying. Cried so much his face was wet. Then I knew he was not lying. I heard terrible opera house, favorite melodies, song, boys, toys, electric irons and TVs. My brain hurt like a warehouse, it had no room to spare. I had to cram so many things to store everything in there. And all the fat, skinny people, and all the tall, short people, and all the nobody people. So many people. Girl my age went off ahead. Some tiny children. If the blacks hadn't pulled her off, I think she would have killed them. I saw you with the broken arm. Of a Cadillac. Cotton knelt and kissed the feet of a priest, and the queer threw up beside his dad. I think I saw you in an ice cream parlor, drinking milkshakes cold and long, smiling and waving and looking so fine. Don't think you knew you were in the song.
What will we listen to? Hello. so let's go through the CD case, and the first one to say something wins. Sublime, Saturday Night Fever, Grateful Dead, American Beauty, REM, Out of Time. Oh, Tool. Okay, if I can find that Tool CD, I sure will. Most of them are on record. More Bowie. I said the first one to win gets it, so Tool was the first one. I'm on a mission, my friends, and I'm flipping through my CD rack. I may have to just play Tool on vinyl for you, but it would take some time for me to set up that record. Where is my Tool CD? That's fine. Okay, we shall then. Does everyone know that the Opiate album is a live album? And when we play it, it's definitely a parental advisory or whatever, because Maynard is hilarious and he says really fun things in between. So yeah, we could listen to that. Here's a picture of the front of the CD. Okay, so now you get to see how I move my studio around. Maybe I'll lift you up. Oh, it's full of books. Sorry, everybody. There we go. There's Effie. We need a name for the duck. Who can name the duck? Who can come up with a clever name for the duck? If somebody wants to name my duck, this one. I feel like very weird voyeur-esque. Like, watch me clean my room and reorganize it. It's not the... Robert or Daniel? Waddles? Janice? What are you guys talking about? Alright, Opiate. Let's say hi to Claire. It's been a long time. This is Claire, one of my favorite little girls. I found her, and she doesn't have eyes. So I call her Claire, short for clairvoyance. But her eyes are deep in there. So I actually slept with her next to me in my bed for like... Claire, everyone's saying hi to you. Say hi. I actually slept with her in bed with me for like 3 weeks. And so yeah, we bonded, but now she just doesn't like to be on camera a ton. I'm glad everybody loves Claire. Claire, everyone loves you. You're such a beautiful girl. Look how happy she is, though. She's always happy. You know how some spirited dolls, their faces don't move? I'm not saying she's spirited because I've not yet been able to contact her, but as you can see, like, I keep her super close to me on my face and stuff. That's how I try and connect with spirits. I feel like the spirits, if they do inhabit a doll, they go into the head. And I feel like our heads are such precious places. So, yeah, if you guys thought I was weird before, I don't quite know what to say now. But I do like to tell you guys more about how I bond with things and the realnesses of me and weird, creepy dolls, because we love each other. Okay, so let's find that Tool album and put it on. Otis, do you want to hang out with Claire? And she holds this rose that has some mugwort from my garden in it, because mugwort is really good for those astral projections, those psychic visions, those... It's such a witchy herb. Now you get the doll thing. Okay, good. Let's put on some Tool. I'll find it for you guys. I shall. Oh, and then on top of that, we have this. My friend Sarai Thomas Brown, I love you so much. She does all kinds of skateboard art all over Facebook. I met her because we stayed at her Airbnb in Santa Cruz, California. She makes pictures, like she made one for me of David Bowie. And she made this and sent it to me, and it's Sherry Moon Zombie and House of a Thousand Corpses in the classic scene where she's like, ah! It's just a minute and a second of the movie. And she is my inspiration for style, for hair, for personality, for spirit, for energy. Like, not only the character that she plays in movies, that's really similar to her in interviews. So to me, I feel like the way that she performs in movies, which is all of her husband movies, and like, it's so cute. It's so cute that Rob has his gorgeous wife in all of his movies. But I'm so inspired by her. I've made this insane drawing while watching this. I want to send it to Jen, but I don't know how since I don't have Instagram. Layla, find me on Skype. If anybody wants to find me on Skype, I am Jen, the Taxidermy Witch, on Skype. And then we can have conversations. If we have conversations and I feel like we're comfortable, then I will send you my P.O. Box. And we can relate through mail, which I absolutely love. Yes, thank you, Brenda. So just connect with me on Skype at Jen the Taxidermy Witch. And I have so many friends saying they want to send me Yule gifts. I've never had a Yule gift from anyone. I've given them before, kind of like, not in private, but like, I don't know how to explain it. I give my parents Christmas gifts, but they're Yule gifts, you know, the last 2 or 3 years. So anyway, if anybody wants to send me anything, I can't tell you how special that is to me. Do you remember my friend Irene? She's been wanting to come over, and she's been messaging me over and over, like saying, let's get together, and she might be here Friday, or she might be here in 3 months. Who knows? It's how witches are. We're busy. We have to have our own lives and make money and all of this stuff, but like, she said in one of my videos, Jennifer is the most giving person that there is in this world. Because when she comes over, I'm like, oh my god, what are you into? What do you need? Okay, let's set you up. And I don't ask for anything from anybody, but I think that's the beauty of gift giving. And that's what people miss out on these days, is to give a gift, you don't need anything in return. But at the same time, even a letter back about your love and appreciation to the person is so great. So yes, let's find that Tool album. You had deleted Amino because the admins were ganging up on you for no reason. Okay, so the admins there are really strong on the pagans and witches, and here's the reason why, is because there's like 15 different witches or pagans or branches of that Amino apps, but Pagans and Witches has the most people online at a time. Never below 150 ever. And sometimes above 450 people at a time. So if I put out a video, sometimes there's 40 people watching it just from that. So I'm really thankful for them. And I used to post them like one right after the other if I would just get bored. But now, not bored, but like, you have to do it the right way. You can't post more than 2 hours in a row or else you get flagged by people that are annoyed by it. which is so weird and silly, but I'm still super thankful for it because it's how a lot of you found me and how a lot of you found Amino. So anyway, I'm not trying to just, because they don't pay me, you guys. I'm only talking about it so that you can find more friends. I found 3 people in Seattle from that app. Like, it's crazy. You can find local friends from that app if you talk to enough people. Sometimes the internet does. You're right. Okay, so maybe let's try and get that Tool album up. And until then, I just want to hold up a super quick one more book on UFOs. UFOs caught on film. Ooh, Witches United Astral. I'll definitely check that out, Pink. UFOs caught on film. Woo! Here's a good one. That looks like a Pleiadian ship. That could be Meier's photo. Let's see. Nope. Rhode Island, 1967. So it has a little story and a little picture of a bunch of different ones. Witches United is an Amino app. But again, some of them only have 5 people on at a time, and those are like a lot of the smaller ones. Oh, right. There's actually one called Witches United, which I have a profile on, but I no longer use because they would flag me for every single post I did, and I would start to get frustrated. So the one I advertise all the time and talk about, again, they don't sponsor me, I don't get paid for it, but I talk about it because it's what made me the person I am today as far as confidence, knowing more friends around the world, learning more witchcraft of all different areas, getting my questions answered so quickly because there's so many people all around the world on that app. If you're up at 3 or 4 in the morning and nobody else in America's up, well, okay, there's like a whole other half of the world that's up at the, different time. I feel like the lighting is really poor at the moment. There. Now you can see my other eye. Okay. So yes, Tool. Let's do it. I'm pretty buff. Typewriters are wicked. I type my new spells out on them, and that's my favorite way to do it. And you know how we talked about Billy Meier having those typewriter prints in his book, like this? One day, because a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to write a book, and I sure will if people will purchase it, but I want to write a paper book. I know you can do Kindle books for free and you don't need like an investor and all of that, but I want to do a paper book. Harmony Nice just put out a paper book. I think that's rad. But I want to have mine like typed. And I think that would be really unique, but a really like awesome throwback, but like all of it being great. So, yes. Tool. We're getting there, you guys. I'm sorry. It's just my room is, I didn't plan this out. Paperback writer. What's paperback writer? Oh, right. I want to be a paperback writer. Exactly. Oh, I have a Billy Meier record. Oh, I have Tool in here already. Oh, yeah. I got a new Tool record. I forgot about it. So, you guys, we're not going to listen to Opiate because Tool is just sitting in there. I got a new double disc record. Oh, I forgot about it. It's like a gift all over again. When I had a little bit of extra money, I went out and I got a special album of Lateralis. And so when it spins, it's just so gorgeous. I mean, I can't do the super spin because I'm not what do you call it? what do you call it when your arms can bend like all the way around? Not a gymnast. What's it called? You guys, help me. Oh, what side do you want to listen to first? This side or this side? The trippy or the anatomy? The trippy or the anatomy? You tell me. We'll put it on. Trippy, you got it. Pink, thank you. Otis, do you want to leave? Do you want to go? No? Okay. Can you guys hear it? Okay. Here, bud. Aww. I think people have to go to bed. So, the drums are on the Kabbalah. Thank you, Layla. That's so awesome. Your heart chakra has been opening. Oh, I love it. I just love it. Contortionist. Thank you, Brenda. Contortionist. That's what I was talking about. Very muscly. I forgot to tell you guys that there were 2 tattoos I left out of my tattoo video, and they are this one. It's an L and a V, right? Like this. And when my husband and I hold hands together, and like this, when we're walking, if you're behind us, it spells out love. And it's so, so cool. And we knew each other for like 3 or 4 weeks when we got that tattoo. And for me, that was like, you know, like, but We were so deeply in love, and we still are, and it's amazing. I just want to share that. And then another person I'm deeply in love with, I forgot to share the tattoo of, is my father, who is very, very ill. And I wanted to get him a tattoo before he passed away, because the reason I get tattoos is because of him, is because I always adored his. And I thought he was such a beautiful man. And he has tattoos all over. Just like he has a big hand of roses. So that's why I have the roses on my hand. And then back on the back of my arm, so when I stand here like this, you can see it there. So yeah, it's him, and it's a picture of him in this gold frame. Like the one that sits on my mom's bedside. It's so cute. And this is one of the first pictures that he gave her. He looks a lot like Fonzie. But it's the first picture he gave her of him sitting on his old Studebaker car that he purchased from the 60s. And it's just such a cool story. And everybody in my family loves that picture. And I actually just showed that tattoo last Thanksgiving to everybody and to Dad for the first time. So that was just like so cool. And I think it's even more amazing because, like, he's not gone yet. And to give somebody a commemorative tattoo is amazing, but, like, that's awesome, Brenda. Yeah, so I think it's so cool to do a tattoo for somebody that you love before they pass. So I inspire that in anybody that wants to. Yeah. Tool is amazing, you guys. Lateralis album is not my very favorite, but I've seen it, you know, they kind of throw bits of... Who's been to a live Tool show? Please tell me right now. Because we've been to 4, and it's not enough, and we'll be to so much more. It's the main band we follow right now. And even when we're poor, we try and go at least once a year. Cool. It's a really old, maybe 70s book. It's the pocket paperback, Bigfoot and Nessie, the 2 basics that we hear about around the world or in America. Well, Nessie, so around the world, from Scotland to the Americas. I've heard this live. It's so rocking socks. Has anybody seen Tool live? Is anybody on my channel? Okay, so if you're not watching me live, but you're watching this video later when it's not live, please tell me if you've seen them live and what year it was. Because all of that makes sense. Because Maynard, from 92 to 97 through 99-ish, performed in front of the band. And then he slowly got, like, further back and further back. And now he performs behind the curtain in just a shadow, which is really cool, too. But the people that are in those live videos of Tool that I watched from, like, 1994, I'm so fucking jealous of them. Like, they had no idea. They're sitting there, they're drinking their beers, they're not even looking at him. And he's, you know, in this, like, club... And Tool's not even big yet, and do you even understand or comprehend what you're a part of? Because I relived their moments so many times through those live shows. In my car, in my kitchen, in my living room, in my studio here, in between videos when I'm preparing, when I'm singing, when I'm becoming completely enchanted with music. To inspire witchcraft, to inspire my passion, my energy, my soul, through this kind of shit right here, like this soul chat that Maynard kind of spits out, you know. What are your favorite lines of the band Tool? I would love to know that. I would like to talk about some of mine. And this is just on a whim, right? So it'd be something fun to do a video on that was more thought out. But yeah, I will spout them out as they come out. I mean, I feel like we're 2.5 hours in. I'm like probably boring people. Do you guys want me to shut down the show? But too many shows, can't remember. Ha! Brenda, you're funny. If you guys don't have me on Skype yet, please let me know, because if you enjoy my live feeds, I Skype everybody before like half an hour or 10 minutes. Like, okay, for instance, I Skyped everybody this morning, and so it was like 10 hours ago, and I said, hey, I'm going to do a live feed tonight after work, so it's going to be, 10 p.m. Seattle time-ish, and if you want to join, come join. What would you think about it? So then, right before I do my feeds, I also send you a 10-minute warning. And then, if you're a fan of music, I send you music videos from YouTube that inspire me, my witchcraft, things I love. And you guys know that have me on Skype, because most of you are here with me. We've been doing that, and that's been really fun. And I want to hear music from you too. Like, I want to inspire each other with music. So, hopefully that's something that everybody else likes too. We're listening to Lateralis album of Tool. We're talking about witchcraft, aliens, taxidermy, dolls, empathy, all kinds of things. What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, Pink. Find me on Skype at the Taxidermy Witch. It's Jen the Taxidermy Witch on Skype. Yeah, Layla, music is personal to me too, and that's why I feel like we can get to know each other better if we are able to share, like, those things that touch us so lovely and so deeply. Do you guys know what this is? Yeah, Layla. I think that half the people on this feed right now I Skyped with last night for like 2 hours apiece. It was... Yeah, I love to do Skyping with you guys when I'm not doing videos, because that's when I can understand you guys more, and also I've been helping people build starter herb kits, like new witches and stuff. We go through my herb cabinet, which is here, and it's very, very... It's big. And we go through my kit and decide what you need and kind of put together a personalized thing for you. Because I've recently come to a point where I have to have some income from what I'm doing here, and I would like to do it by helping people that way as well. So, I wanted to show you guys the puppies. They're not puppies. They're not dogs. I just call them the puppies because I have no idea what they are. I found this weird cheese plate when I was thrifting, and I thought, that looks like a cool glass dome for oddities and such. So why don't I use that? Thank God I did, because look, I had a candle spill, like a big vigil candle like this. One of these that was red. By the way, if these spill on hardwood floors, they do stain. Oh, I have big red stains and green stains all over. So yes, then this spilled and it protected the puppies. Again, they're not puppies. From being splashed with wax. That's creepy. Whoop! I have a tick. You know how some people have a tick of like what they say? I say, whoop! I actually got it from that show, The Middle, from that character Brick, how he says, whoop! Hey, Zale! Oh, hi, baby! I'm so happy you're here. I'm really so happy you're here. Hi. Yay, really happy. Yes. So these are my little puppies. They're not actually puppies, Zale. They're just, I don't know what they are. If you guys know how to identify skulls, let me know. Yes, I'm the taxidermy witch, but I will never say, like, I can identify anything perfectly. I usually have to go to bring it to my uncle. He can't even do it through pictures, you know? And so even sometimes the best people can't do it through pictures. But I believe that one of them is a muskrat skull. But I'm not sure. And then this one does not have a bottom bit. But this one does. Alright, so we're talking about aliens, we're talking about conspiracies, we're talking about skulls, horror, bones, anything. What do you guys want to talk about? I am all ears and all eyes and all open to any topic. But I'm just really happy that new people are here. Ghost stories, absolutely. Shall we read out of scary stories? You know, scary stories? Zale, can you remind me what state you're from or what part of the world you're from? Are you from the UK? If you are, I'm so excited. If you're not, that's okay too. I just thought for some reason you might be from the UK. But Zale is coming here from Pagans and Witches Amino app, which I always talk about. England, see? Yes! Yay! Ding, 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 ding. I have so many fun things to show you in my little, like, tiny flat here. My stomach's doing much better, thank you. You guys cheered my stomach up completely. When I started the video, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I don't know how long we'll be on, but now we've been on for quite some time. Okay, so what were we doing? Ghost stories, right. Ghost stories with Tool music, that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. And it's also nice not to have to sit for you guys, because normally I sit for my videos, and let me hold up my stool. It's completely uncomfortable. But it's made of this walnut wood, which we talked about in like Magical Household, how magical like wood can be. There's these glass ball feet. I did a massage trade for this, and it was $100 trade. So I did a really big, long, deep tissue massage to get this stool. So it is my magical tool with you guys. It's really precious. But man, it's not the best for your backs. Okay, so scary stories. And also when I read, should I have my glasses on? Or can you not see me well enough? I can never tell. We read almost the whole first Scary Stories book. But if you guys have a certain book, 1, 2, or 3, or a certain story you want to hear, let me know right now. The first person to say a story gets it. Gets the first story. They only take like 3 minutes to read each one, so it'll be quick. It'll be no big. We can get all the requests we want. So there's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Then there's more Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Super clever, right? Oh, and then there's Scary Stories 3. Like, the titles are amazing. How Blair Witchy does that look? I want to talk about the England Crop Circles book that we were talking about really quick, just to see if Zale has any input, because he is right there in and near that area. It's like in this huge pile of... There it is. Wiltshire, Zale. Oh yeah. I don't know what area you're in, but there are some pretty fantastic pictures of not just crop circles, but all kinds of gorgeousness throughout that part of England. Look at that. Look at that! It's pure love! Alright, so is there any scary stories that somebody wants in particular? Let me know. We'll do it right now. I am really close to 500 subscribers, you guys, and that blesses my heart so much. But I'm wondering if you guys can help me out by sharing me on different things that you're comfortable with sharing me on, so that I can really hit that mark. I'm really hoping to hit it by Thanksgiving. That was kind of my goal. So I've got 2 days. Well, no. Yeah, I've got 2 days. We're going to flip the record. Does anyone know these books? Do they have a request? Or should I just read one from my intuition? You tell me. We're flipping the record. We're on to the anatomy side. It's so beautiful. I'll show you. Sale, I'm so glad you're here. Alright, so did everybody see my alien tattoo? So give me a clue there. Cool, right? That was painful stuff. It's a good song. I'm going to redress that mannequin there, and I want to redress it more often. But I'm really liking that gold dress on it lately. But we're getting more into I don't know, wintertime. What should I put on my mannequin, you know? Crazy things, or just normal things I usually wear. Or the outfit right before the day I wear it. That would be really interesting, right? Ghost stories. Okay, right. Thank you for keeping me on track. Otherwise, I would keep drifting away. Well, I'm just going to close my eyes and pick out a ghost story. Ready? We picked this book, which... Oh, wow. We've already read the whole thing except for the end, so we're going to have to read one of the end ones. That's fine. Oh, Oh, well, I have a match in the hook for some reason, so I guess we'll read that. I have always wanted to get a tattoo of these as well. Look at that shit, man. It's creepy. Nice. Alright, cool. So the hook. I can't tell what I want to do. Listen to music or tell a story. I guess I'll do both. Alright, cool. The hook. Ah, yeah. Donald and Sarah went in... Okay, it just starts out so random, right? Donald and Sarah went to the movies. Then they went for a ride in Donald's car. They parked on a hill at the edge of town. I have to turn it down. I'm sorry. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there, they could see the lights up and down the valley. Donald turned on the radio and found some music. But an announcer broke in with a news bulletin. A murderer had escaped from the state prison. He was armed with a knife and was headed south on foot. His left hand was missing. In place, there wore a hook. He wore a hook. Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors, said Sarah. That's a good idea, said Donald. That prison isn't too far away, said Sarah. Maybe we really should get home. But it's only 10 o'clock, said Donald. This book really paints men to be pieces of shit. I'm just saying. Like, not so nice. I don't care what time it is, she said. I want to go home. Look, Sarah, said Donald. He's not going to climb all the way up here. Why would he do that? Even if he did, all the doors are locked. How could he get in? Donald, he could take that hook and break through a window and open a door, she said. I'm scared. I want to go home. Donald was annoyed. Girls always are afraid of something, he said. For fuck's sake, Donald. Watch a scary movie. Alright. As he started the car, Sarah thought she heard something or someone scratching at her door. Did you hear that? She asked as they roared away. It sounded like somebody was trying to get in. Oh, sure, said Donald. Soon they got to her house. Would you like to come in and have some cocoa? She asked. No, he said. I've got to go home. Again, this book is not painting the best picture of Donald or men. Whatever. He went around to the other side of the car to let her out. Hanging on the handle was a fucking hook. Super creepy. I love the illustrations of this book. They're beautiful. So now, I'm going to read from one of the other ones. Do you guys like the number 2 or 3 better? You pick. 2 or 3. 2 or 3. Two or 3. 2. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you, Layla. More scary stories to tell in the dark. You guys, do you want to know what story we picked? How many of you are familiar with these books? Do you guys know them from your childhood? Are you guys all too young to know them from your childhood? If that's the case, that's fine. But I want to introduce them to you a little bit more. Right, Brenda, I know. I know exactly what you mean by those dots. Not really, you did. Okay, alright, well, cool. Well, so I'm 36. You know, I was born in the early 80s. And so, to me, these were a part of my culture growing up around the United States of America. So we picked the black dog. And funnily enough, in all of the 3 books, they have a story about a black dog. This is a spooky one. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Are you ready? Are you excited? Also, I'm really excited to show you guys how these books can relate to witchcraft, right? Like, not relate to witchcraft, but the witchcraft reflections within them, the superstitions, etc., right? I wish you could see what's underneath the camera. The tripod is on this like pile of books. And if it falls over, we won't be able to film for a few days, so that's not gonna happen. Okay. This is my exorcism charm. Remember, you guys? It's really been helping me a lot. Oh, and Ash, when you watch this, look, I'm wearing the bracelet that you sent me. It really helps me at work when I'm super sad. Thanks for asking, Brenda. My tummy's feeling much better. I think when I'm live with my friends, like, somehow you guys make me feel better, you know? Sometimes when I'm done with work, I just want to come home and do a live, and that's exactly why. Like, I need your energy to help me, like, heal my heart, you know? From the people that have been so harsh with me all day at work. And if you don't know about my work, ask me about it, but I don't want to bring all those negative vibes back in. Let's read that black dog story, shall we? Shall we? How many of you guys have dogs? And I know cats are like such a super like witchcraft familiar or animal or magical acquaintance, if you will. But dogs, they've not been my thing my whole life ever. Cats I've always been really drawn to, but I think that's because dogs need a lot. They're like so needy, and I just don't have all of that to give because I have 5 children. Positive vibes. Thank you, Zale. I just love you. All right, ready? We're gonna talk about the little black dog. Zale, you have 3 dogs. What kinds? Tell me what kinds and all about them while we're reading through this. All right. The little black dog. Billy Mansfield said that a little black dog followed him wherever he went, but he was the only one who saw it. What does that say to you guys? If this was a real story from a real person, I want you to think about that, because all of these, if you read in the back of the book, come from lore. Old American lore, old Scottish lore, lore from around the world that's brought in. There's one about a hotel that freaks me the F out. Layla. So yeah. He was the only one who saw it, so people thought he was kind of crazy. To drive the dog away, Billy was always hollering at it, throwing rocks at it, but the dog always came back. The first time Billy saw that dog was the day he fought Salis Burton. Billy was just a young man then, but the Burtons and Billy's family had been feuding for years. When Billy saw Salis riding toward him, he went for his gun and Burton went for his. But Billy fired first. Is that better? There we go. But Billy fired first. There we go. He hit Burton in the back, knocking him off his horse. Burton's horse ran off and his gun fell where he couldn't reach it. He lay there on the ground pleading with Billy. Not to kill him, but Billy killed him anyway. I gotta turn down the music, maybe. I don't know. Burton's little black dog was with him when he was shot. The dog kept licking Burton's face and barking and snarling at Billy. In his anger, Billy killed the dog too. There wasn't much law enforcement in those days, so Billy wasn't arrested. But all that night, he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin. Can you guys hear me well, or should I turn down the music? Can somebody tell me? I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, but if it's... Okay, perfect. Thanks, Brenda. Okay. But all that night, he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin, scratching on his door and barking to be let in. I'm imagining this, Billy told himself. I shot that dog. It's dead. But the next morning, Billy saw the dog. It was waiting for him outside. From then on, there was only a day when he didn't see it, and there wasn't a night when he didn't hear it scratching on his door, barking to be let in. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on his sofa, on the floor, on his bed, and even his food. Have you guys in witchcraft ever found animal hairs that didn't, or feathers in your home that didn't belong to your animals or your environment? Because I have, and I just wanted to bring that up really quick and maybe talk about what that might mean to you guys. Please make sure to comment on that. And the house and the yard stank of dog. And again, smell can be so big. Like, I've smelled dog when nobody else can smell it. And there's no dog around. And Zale, you said yes, didn't you? I would love to hear about that instance. But I'm just saying, the olfactory nerve, and we talk about this when I talk about videos on witchcraft, on how you can engage your study senses and how you can pass an exam no problem with just a simple essential oil. The olfactory smell can bring you both spiritually and physically, mentally, emotionally, all on that time. So, Brenda, your sense of smell is sick. Well, that's really good. I'm really happy for you, because I feel like even after my sight and my hearing goes, because I do the sight with the technology, and then my hearing with the music, like at concerts as loud as I can. Thank God my car is gone, because now I can't blast it as loud as I did in that teeny tiny mini, and it was killing my hearing. I know it is, because I saw an audiologist just recently, and they're like, you either have to stop your car or stop shows. And I'm like, yeah, my car. Oh my God, my car. I'm not going to stop going to shows. Anyway, back onto the topic. It was a very witchy tangent. I love you guys. There wasn't much law enforcement in those days. Yes, okay. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on the sofa, on the floor, in his bed, even in his food. I lost my place. Even in his food, and the house and the yard stank of dog. That's what Billy said. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't a dog to see, he'd say, maybe you don't see it, but I do. I've said that so many times in my life. Maybe you don't hear it, but I do. Not the seeing, but the hearing. Maybe you don't hear it, but I do. That clairaudience that has been a part of me my whole life, since my earliest memories of 3 years old. The clairaudience. Maybe you don't hear it, but I do. I mean, that was Jennifer's mantra. when she was growing up. And I really did think that, you know, when I learned about schizophrenia and stuff, that was me. Shit. And then you just realize, like, you have a little bit more than everybody else does, and it's a blessing. You just have to figure out how to make it a blessing, right? Wow, how did this tiny story become so long? Because I go on tangents, bedangents. I think so, Zale. I think so. And you and I should have a private Skype about that, because I'd really enjoy talking about empathetic things with anybody who wants to talk about it on just a personal level, because I got a really rad book on empaths, and I'll show that if you ask for it later. But, like, I'm one, and everybody becomes one for a different reason, and I really want to talk about that, but I don't know how to do it in a video yet, like, and not get scrutinized for it. So yes, let's talk more on the rest of the story, because it's a beautiful story, isn't it, you guys? It's so beautiful. I really like it. Oh, the record's over. Let's finish the story. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't any dog to see, he'd say, maybe you don't see it, but I do, and I'm not any crazier than you are. Well, only crazy people say that, Billy, for fuck's sakes. Things went on like that for many years, and then one morning in the middle of the winter, the neighbors didn't see any smoke coming out of Billy's chimney. Back in those days, the fire, when we talked about the hearth, is the form of life. If there's no smoke coming from the chimney, there's no life, right? When they went over to check, Billy wasn't there. A day or so later, they found his body lying in the snow in a field back in the back of his cabin. Billy had plenty of enemies, and at first, it seemed like somebody might have killed him. But there wasn't a mark on his body, and there weren't any footprints out there except for Billy's. The doctor said that Billy probably died from old age. But there was something odd about his death. When the neighbors finally found Billy, there were black dog hairs all over his clothes. There were even a few on his face. It smelled like a dog had been out there, yet no one had seen a dog anywhere. Yeah, and so that to me, like reading that as a small child, again, only having cats, I was afraid of dogs. And my mom used to tell me stories. Peggy used to tell me stories, like, about dogs attacking her as a house cleaner and as a young kid. And so, like, when your parental unit tells you about something like that, right, you're immediately cautious about it in particular, and scared, and all of that. So, anyway, that's the black dog from 2. And then there's a black dog in 3, and some, like, really interesting YouTubes on the scary stories interpretations. Thank you to the people that are here and that hang on with me through these, like, just talks, because you really are helping me and being my friend and making me feel loved. So I really appreciate that. I wanted to ask Zale a question. What was it? Oh, do you mind saying what part of the UK you're in? And then I want to put on more music. Yeah? Should we listen to Guns N' Roses? Would that be fun? Or should we put on a different record? Or I have a Billy Meier record I could look for, but it might take like 5 minutes of me looking. I don't want to lose people, but I want to ask, like, what do you want me to do? Because I'll do it. Northampton. Okay, wait. Is it Northampton or Northamptonshire? Northamptonshire. I think it's all said in one word. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Zale. I really appreciate it. Not far from London. So, are you to the north, south, east, or west of London? Okay, Brenda, if you have to bail, that's okay. I love you. Okay, great. Alright, so what should we hear? Do you guys want to hear Guns N' Roses? Do you want me to find more Tool? Do you want me to put on that weird alien Billy Meier record, which is probably more of the topic, which is fine. Let me start digging, and then you guys reply. Northeast. Sweet. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you guys something funny. Like, I have a lot of vinyl, but not much at the house here, like where we're currently at. Brenda, have a really beautiful Thanksgiving. I love you so much, my sister. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for joining and hanging out for 2 hours with me. That's amazing. Okay. Alright. So, we were just listening to this, like, special Tool Lateralis album that I got. And so there's actually a side 1 and 2, I believe. Yeah, right. So one option is we could listen to the other side of Tool, but I kind of feel like we should switch up the music because we have viewers that like all different kinds of music. So maybe... Oh, look, there's Bastet. Maybe we should listen to like Nirvana or what do we have? What's just gonna come up? Oh my gosh, we have a Bob's Burgers record, which is I did a video on Bob's Burgers Mad Libs where I just sat by myself and did Mad Libs and listened to Bob Burgers. So we have that. That would be fun, but not for like a long time. I really love this record so much, you guys. I really do. I love this record. Have you guys heard Nevermind from start to finish on side 1 and 2? Layla, do you like Nevermind though? Because everybody has a different opinion about like all the albums. And Zale, do you like, alternative music from Seattle? Bye. Alright, cool. Let's see if I even have the record. Here we go. Nirvana, Nevermind. Let's put it on. We're gonna first start with... There's so many good songs on here, you guys. We're gonna start with side 2. Because that starts with Territorial Pissings, which I love. Oh! Crying out loud. That was really fun though. Both sides. lost plenty of... Oh no, I gained viewers. That's funny. Well, I thought surely if I put on Nirvana and left... Alright, hi guys! You're here with me, Jen, the Taxidermy Witch, which I feel weird for saying because we're 3 hours and 10 minutes in. It's my longest live feed. We're now reading scary stories and holding up figurines of stuff. So I decided while I was gone that we were going to read a scary story called Bess. Okay, so Zale, you sure are, and you can plan that in 2 years because I'm going to plan a witchy retreat with the help of all of you guys where we can all get together in the United States. Really, really, really fucking excited about that. So, is this seriously the longest live stream? Question mark. Yes. I've certainly never gone into 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 35 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna read a story called Bess. I honestly don't know how to do this, like listen to music without singing or dancing, so I'm doing my best. Ugh. And also, if I live streamed all day long, I would smoke so much more less. That would be better for my life and my budget. Alright, so Bess. I'm waiting for a part of the song I like, and then I'll start reading. Really electric, sorry. Alright, okay, so Bess. You stay here, baby. Alright. You see her here? She's right here. John Nicholas raised horses. I love how it just like states things in the first sentence. John Nicholas raised horses. Yes. So I wore the alien skirt special because I did a video and I thought about you guys all day and I was like, aliens, yes. Alright. John Nicholas raised horses. He had many of all kinds, but his favorite was Bess. A gentle old mare he had grown up with. He no longer rode her, for all she could do now was just amble along. Bess spent her days gazing peacefully in a meadow. Man, that sounds amazing, right? That summer, for the fun of it, John Nicholas went into a fortune teller's booth. The fortune teller studied her cards. I see danger ahead of you, she said. Your father's favorite horse will cause you to die. I don't know when, but it will happen. It is in the cards. Witchcraft, yeah? He's going to get his cards read. I'm trying to let this horse ride on my... yeah, it is in the cards. John Nicholas laughed. The idea that Bess would cause him to die was nonsense. Oh no! I knew that wasn't the best idea. Alright. Yes, so the idea that Bess would cause him to die within the next year was nonsense. Where are we at? She was as dangerous as a bowl of soup. Yet from then on, whenever he saw her, he remembered the fortune teller's warning. Yeah. I'm beyond this. I can't play with a horse and read a story at the same time. Okay, so he forever heeded the fortune teller's warning. That fall, a farmer from the other side of the country asked if he could have Bess. He had been thinking that the old horse would be perfect for his children to ride. That's a good idea, John said. It would be fun for them, and it would give Bess something to do. Later, John told his wife about it. Now Bess won't kill me, he said, and they both laughed. That's really trippy. Stop. This thing just fell down in my room. It's no big deal. It's whatever. And they both laughed. A few months later, he saw the farmer who had taken her. How's my Bess? He asked. Oh, she was fine for a while, said the farmer. The children loved her. Then she got sick. I had to shoot her to put her out of her misery. It was a shame. Despite himself, John breathed a sigh of relief. He had often wondered, in some crazy way, if she might kill him. I'm gonna hold this up for a while. Stay away, stay away, stay away. He would wonder if she might kill him in some strange accident. Bess would kill him. No, of course, she would not. I'd like to see her, said John, just to say goodbye, as she was my favorite. The bones of the dead horse were in a far corner of the man's farm. Why? Why were they just sitting there in a pile? I'm just wondering. I know horse bones are really amazingly powerful. Horses are terrified of witches. If you're really in tune and you walk up to a horse, they're going to probably not let you touch them. And if they do, then you're a very peaceful witch. If you're a witch that does things that are negative, horses will flip out. From what I've seen, personally. I'd like to see her, John said, just to say goodbye. She was my favorite. The bones of the dead horse were in the far corner of the man's farm. John kneeled down and patted Bess's sun-bleached skull. Just then, a rattlesnake, which had made its way home inside of the skull, sank its fangs into John Nicholas's arm and killed him. I like it a lot. Ooh, that's a good one too. Totally about witches. Let's read that. Such things happen. I'm gonna hold this up just because I need to do it. It. Well, do you see those eyes on my dresser? Do you see them? They're reflecting all evil eye that may come to me, and if you feel like you may have the same thing, then you should do the same thing, or you can draw an evil eye. Thanks, Zane. Love myself. I love you. No, it's wishing I knew. What do you guys want to talk about now? I'm playing. I can play. Oh, we could talk about Nirvana lyrics. We could talk about true crime. We could talk about the Beatles. We could talk about the universe. We could talk. I'm like looking all over my room. Like, what could we talk about? We could talk about anything. But if I get bored, that's when I turn off the live feed. So, no pressure. Zane, you're new here, and also I have 2 more new subscribers that I think that are... Okay, bye-bye. If anybody wants to talk about a certain subject, just let me know, and we'll talk about it right here, right now. Or wants to hear another story, or read a little bit of one of the books I showed you from earlier. Okay, a lot of people have got to go. I completely understand that. Those of you in the UK, you have to get off to work. Those of you in America, you have to get off to bed. I'm always at an odd time when I'm filming at home. At night after work. So yes, I feel like we did well. I'm gonna close with like talking about the last of my books, and then in the meantime, if anybody has any topics they want to talk about, please let me know, and I will certainly continue my live feed, because why not? So we said these, right? UFOs and extraterrestrials. There's some like nice little books about just so much info. Maybe we could go to the index and chit about it. Okay. So a lot of old books don't have indexes, which means highlighters are crucial. Yeah, no, I'm having fun. That's why I'm still chatting. So yeah, then any kind of books that we find within our travels that have to do with aliens or UFOs, we pick up. Me and my husband Alex, in the last 6 years, we've been collecting together. Some of it's fiction, some of it's non-fiction, some of it's like, bye Pink. Stairway to the Heaven. I found this in a thrift, like a charity shop. Flying saucers. Serious business. Westport UFO crash. This is a big one. Ding, ding, ding. Like, if you have Rh negative blood type, you need to know about ancient Lemuria. Okay? So, really look into not only just this book, but ancient Lemuria in general. Are these lives more fun to watch later than regular videos? From some people I've heard yes. Because you're here with me at your own accord, whenever you can watch it, even if it's not live. Let's say you're watching it, 2 days later, 2 hours later, or 2 months later, or 2 years later. If we keep on topic with content, I feel like it can be fun. Either way. These are the books that I've collected on aliens, throughout my time. Does anybody want to hear another scary story? Or a Grimm's fairy tale, or what else could I read that would be unusual for a live feed? I feel like, I have like a book on taxidermy art. I have a book on serial killers. We could do some kind of like little passage from a book, any book I have. I have a huge selection of books on true crime, so at some point that might be interesting. I'm not sure what you guys think about it. My bed is full of stuff. I'm getting sleepy, and so I'm really getting close to signing off. If you guys want to see anything from me or learn anything from me in a live Q&A, now is the time. Layla asks, how would you say you connect to cats? My connection to cats are, I've had a lifelong spiritual connection to them, and you're the only one I found who has the energy of cat in them. Well, that's rad, Layla. I have to say, for starts, that like, you feel like both you and I, just through video, because we've never even Skyped, have a cat energy. That's fantastic. I like that a lot. And how will you connect? My connection to cats is very mental. I can call some of my cats, and I have 5 cats. I can call some of them back home with spells. Actually, 2 of them have been lost, and I've called them back home with spells. But I cannot beat them dying. And that's my biggest fear with Bazinga. Like, my newest cat is that, my oldest cat is that she's getting so skinny and so small and so frail and so clingy, and the clingy part is scary, and she doesn't want to go outside, So, yeah, I mean, my connection with cats is that, like, I empathetically understand what's happening in their life phases when nobody else does. And I felt that Maggie was sick since we got her, and now she's gone 2.5 years later. Or, wait, no, it was 3.5 years. But I mean, it's still really like hard. Like that's what makes it hard about having pets, you know, is that you have to like accept the fact that they're not going to be with you at some point. The moment that you accept a pet in is the moment that you should accept like they're going to die, because if you can't handle that, I've known people that have not adopted pets for over 8 years because they were so saddened by that, you know. And even they never wanted to have kids because they were so sad they lost their pets. So I don't know. Everybody's different, and I feel like our guides channel us in different ways and give us messages in different ways. But like, pets dying is a big one, a hard one. It's been 3.5 hours. I'm gonna tell everybody goodbye and I love you, unless I have last minute questions, which you can type right now. And I would be happy to answer. Otherwise, all my love to you guys, because you lifted my evening, made it really beautiful and amazing. And I'm gonna lay down and probably watch. What do I watch when I lay down? Well, lately I've been into Kim and Cass, but I might lay down and watch some Peep Show. But have a really beautiful evening, you guys. I love you very, very much, very deeply. And thank you for talking about, like, aliens and Billy Meier and all of those things. Just today with me in my little room where we can chat about this stuff. In the morning, I'm going to wake up and do a video on a lot of things. I have the day off tomorrow, so you'll see me early in the morning. I'm going to turn up this music and say goodbye like mid-music, okay?